When I was at work, I was focused at being at work. Now, a couple of days I did show up hour and a half, 2 hours early, just to get my day started because I knew I had a big day. So I wasn't rushing in at 9 o'clock, just not having a plan. I had a plan. I mean, I had a plan and I knew exactly where I was going to be that day. I knew exactly what I had going on that day. I wasn't just showing up not knowing what was going on. So I would show up an hour and a half early, get my day situated, get everything started, get my mind ready. Exactly like an athlete does it, Frank. Athletes show up to the stadium 2 hours, 3 hours before. They get their rituals out of the way. They get their mind ready. They get their body ready. I had to take care of my body that whole month. I was busy, constantly busy. I mean, I constantly had people sitting in front of me. So my mind and my body had to be ready for it. And when I was at work, I worked. I didn't worry about anything else. I didn't goof off. I was just, and it just the numbers fell where they fell. And the management team kept trying to come up and tell me that I was having a record-breaking month, but I didn't want to hear it, and they knew I didn't want to hear it because I didn't want that to change the course of what my intentions were.
I mean, like a pitcher in baseball, like a pitcher who's in the middle of a no-hit game. You didn't want anybody to come near you. You didn't want anybody to tell you what was going on, where you were at, nothing like that. You were laser focused, one call at a time, one up at a time, one sale at a time, one customer at a time, just taking care of them. And that, once the dust settles, once the ball drops, literally, right? Once the ball drops and the year comes over, you literally found yourself sitting at 202 cars. Once again, I personally know that is more vehicles than most dealerships did in the month of December. You did single-handedly. And I got to ask you this question, and it's not a question from me. It came in the comments. Aaron Pitts asks, how many people does it take to organize that type of performance? So he says essentially it's like you're the surgeon and you are there to operate and get away from every other step. Is that true? How many people does it take for an Ali Rita to do 202 vehicles in 1 month?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the funny thing is I have Myrna, who is my right-hand person. I mean, she is amazing, and she does a wonderful job. Amazing. She's just an amazing person, and she shares the same beliefs as I do. She shares the same goals as I do, and she also doesn't know where the numbers are for the month. So she does all the paperwork. And just like he said about being a surgeon, I've mocked my whole process, my whole office setup after the doctor's office. And that's basically what it is. So I have 4 offices back to back to back to back. And every office is at a different stage. Myrna would come in, she'd gather all the information she needed to get. I would come in and I would solve the issue. And then I would move over to the next desk and she would close that deal out. I don't do paperwork. I just help people. That's all I'm doing. So I'm solving the problem. Myrna handles the paperwork. I have Sam, who is my young legs. He actually works more part-time. He hasn't been full-time. The last week he came in after he finished his finals. He came in for the full week. But then he came in full-time, and he's the one that does mostly the delivery process. He takes the customer to the car, sets up their phone, does what we need to do with the delivery process. But I am the last person to see every customer before they leave. So after he's done with what he does, I come out, greet the customer, I hug them, I tell them thank you for everything, and then they're off. But that's it. That's the team. None of them sell. They don't sell. They are there as my assistants. They are a huge part of what I do. Without them, I could never be where I'm at today. But I'm talking to every single person. It's one-on-one. It's one-on-one sales. But the process is very fast. It's very efficient, but it's never rushed. We don't rush anything. Just like when you're in a doctor's office, you have somebody in one office at one stage, somebody in the lobby at a different stage, somebody in another office at a different stage, and it's just ongoing.